turn that on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official LOTRO stream team. I am your host, Little Redhead, and I will be taking you around the world of Middle-earth, as you see over here beside me. I'm laughing because just as I was getting ready to start, of course, that's the time when the cat decides that she wants to come by. For being such a shy cat, she is definitely learning to enjoy the limelight, and I'm appreciating it though. So this is Kato here. She is 8 years old, and she came to us near the end of May. Are you going to lay down on my lap right now? Right now? Are you sure about that? Yeah, maybe not. A lot of times what she likes to do is she comes and lays down across my lap, but that includes across my wrists and everything. So that may not be completely ideal for, you know, when I'm trying to move my mouse around on the screen. Hello, X4711. It just makes me think of like an enterprise number there. And CC4, was it 1701? So anyway, for some reason that made me think of that. So, all right, well, I am, aside from distracted by the cat, I am also here at the Farmer's Fair. So in Lord of the Rings Online, there's a bunch of things you can do. You can, excuse me, I got cat hair on my face now. You can run around and follow basically what would be like the Fellowship of the Rings, Lord of the Rings books as you go through the books, the 3 books. So you can do that in the game. You're following an epic book series in the game. And here, I can pull that up. That is, excuse me. So you see how I have Epic Volume 3, Book 2. So, and then Chapter 5. So it's broken out as if you are going chapter by chapter through various books in the game. And that is the epic storyline, and it takes you alongside the Fellowship of the Rings. So you're not interacting directly in their story because, I mean, you're not in Tolkien's books, but it takes you alongside and you're helping out and things like that. So for example, you can see here in everything that I've completed, like there was Volume 1, Book 1, Stirrings in the Darkness. And under that first book, there were, well, there's a foreword, but then there's like, what, 11, 12 chapters? So it takes you through the storyline in that way. So that's kind of cool. I enjoy that. So you can do things like that. You can just run around the world like a crazy person, doing whatever you want, just, you know, over hill, over dale, whatever you want to do, you know, through Eriador, or even bigger than that, you know, start off in Eriador and run off to Rohan or Gondor or Mordor, or, you know, all these places that you can go in the world. It's kind of open. Like you can, there's some things are gated by, maybe you need to do some quests because, you know, have you not encountered certain things, other places in the world may not exist in terms of like what your character might have knowledge of, right? So that's what the epic book is designed to do, is to kind of take you along and you discover things throughout. But on the other hand, like there's no requirement ever, I don't think, let me double check, to go up to like Forchel up here. The epic line only briefly touches in there, I think, and then you zoom back out again. But there's a ton of quests and things you can do up there, and there's a whole lot of storyline. I mean, you've got this huge bay, which, by the way, is deadly. If you swim in it, it will kill you. The water is that cold. It is deathly cold. But you've got, you know, things up here in Surikaila, all sorts of things going on like that. Question in the chat is, by chance, do you know if one can upgrade the Minas Morgul expansion to Ultimate? So now, just as a caveat, I don't work for SSG. I am streaming here on the official channel, but I am not like an SSG employee, and so I don't have like knowledge of behind the scenes or anything like that. But the Minas Morgul expansion, that's an older expansion, so I don't think so. I know what they're doing with the newer expansions, like what do we just have? Fate of Gundabad, maybe. that you can buy the lower ones and then you can upgrade and you just pay the difference. And then you get like the bonus goodies that come with that next one on top of, you know, the stuff you've already gotten. So that's kind of a cool way to do it, because it used to be, yeah, you can only just buy whatever you got and then that's what you got. And if you want to buy the bigger one, you have to buy the whole thing, even though you've already bought the smaller one, right? So I think Minas Morgul is old enough that that's not, but I would say check their website. Let me pull up, see if I can pull up the website. Let's see, LOTRO, Minas Morgul. Let me see if I can find, let's see, store maybe? I keep getting the LOTRO wiki, which, by the way, is a fantastic resource, the LOTRO wiki. It is a fan run and maintained website, and it's like it covers all sorts of things in the game, and it's really super useful. Okay, so Minas Morgul expansion in the LOTRO store. That was as of like 2 years ago. Yes, but I want to see it in the main store, don't I? So that's an interesting idea, though, is that it's probably, and I don't know if it'll show it to me because I already own it, I think. Pretty sure I have all the expansions. Every time a new expansion comes out, we try to grab it. Morgul. Oops, how did I spell it right? It's not Morphul. It's a Morphul, let me tell you. Let me see. No items found. Okay, let me see about Minas. Just try one word. Steed, a model, a cloak. Cosmetics, housing items. Oh, the stable master stands. Those are really cool. Okay, so no, I would say probably, yeah, you'd want to go to the LOTRO store, I would think, and take a look there. Yeah, right. The leveling, right. Okay, so the comment in chat is they regret buying the collectors but not the ultimate edition because of the leveling earring. And I think what they're talking about is, oh, I may have taken mine off. Oh yeah. Oh wait, I'm on Rosenblum. Yeah. Oh, but I have mine in my vault. So some of the expansions come with special jewelry in the form of earrings that give you bonus experience. So like, for example, the earring of the Dead City gives you 25% of all forms of experience up until level 120. And that is like 25% bonus experience gain on monster kills, crafting, and quest completions. The Fateful Gundabad earring also does the same thing. So yeah, it's pretty much identical, but that goes up to 130. And there's a third one. I don't know what I did with it. Because I got one in 3 different, like one expansion. I might not have opened it because I'm like, these are the 2 best ones. Because there's, oh yeah, there's like the earring from the elves or something like that, but it's not quite as good. So let's see, if you go to, and I know this may send you down a rabbit hole, but lotro.com/expansions, that currently Fate of Gundabad is at the top there, and that's the one it's talking about. But let's see, previous expansions, War of the Three Peaks, Minas Morgul Ultimate Fan Bundle, that's the one you're looking for, right? Minas Morgul, yeah, to Ultimate. So let's take, can I just go there? I just want to go there. Okay, if that page that I just linked, if you scroll down, it's about, I'd say 2/3 of the way down the page, is where you get to the Lord of the Rings Ultimate, Minas Morgul Ultimate Fan Bundle. And I would say that click on that and see what, if it, you know, like if you click on buy now, because it'll take you to the purchasing part, and see if it gives you like the ability to upgrade. If not, your options are to just straight up buy, you know, the ultimate, or you could contact customer service and see if they'll do the upgrade, but I don't know that they're doing upgrades. I don't think they're doing upgrades for older ones is the problem. So you might not even be, it might be just wasting your time sending in a ticket on that one. Yeah, sorry. I wish I knew on that one. I know, let's see, wait, did I just close that? Oh no, it's still open. Does it say collectors? Blah, 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 blah. Looking at the Gundabad one. Go big, blah, blah. After you purchase, your account will automatically be updated based on the event. If you're logged into the game and you log out and log back in. You know, it's interesting because it doesn't actually, I'm not seeing it just like on a quick read through. Hi, baby. What, you know, the thing where you can upgrade, and I know you can with the newest one. I know that that's the thing that they changed. So it may be dig deeper in and you might be able to find more details. Yeah. Egg Arthur says, I think it was said that Gundabad was the first to offer an upgrade option. Awesome. Thank you for that. So Minas Morgul might not be. So you might have to just buy it straight out to get that that earring if you want it. Yeah. Now, like I said, I've got I've got 3 of them. I mean, dang, I don't remember where I got them though. I wish. I'm sorry that I'm like cannot remember where I got them. Obviously, let me see. Okay, so obviously the Gundabad one is from Gundabad. Like that's pretty clear. The Earring of the Dead City would have been with whatever gave us the 120. That might be the one you're looking at, Minas Morgul. But where did the elf one come from that I don't have in front of me? Ultimate Mordor is also an earring. Well, I do have that. Well, yeah, hopefully you'll get it. Now I'm trying to think of what the other experience boosts are out there. That's so funny because I'm usually the other way around, especially here on Treebeard, because it's the slower server and we're doing like every single quest in every single corner. So I usually have on the Stone of the Tortoise to slow my experience. I don't want the experience. But when here on Treebeard, so we're getting the newest expansion every 6 months right now. So we opened up with Eriador, and then we got into Moria, and so we went, deep delving for a while, and also got Lothlorien. So first we were here in Eriador. We had all of this area to explore, and then we went into Moria and Eregion, and that area, and then and then we also got access to Lothlorien with Moria. And then when we came out of Moria, now we're in like southern Ravanian with Mirkwood and the area right nearby there. Let's see, Dol Guldur, we did all that. Yeah, so we've been running all over all these places. And then we've also went to, let's see, where did we go? Not the Great River, we're not there yet. I know Egg Arthur will probably pop in and say, because they're really good at remembering these things. Words sometimes escape me, I'm afraid to tell y'all. But anyway, so yeah, maybe it was Eregion also that we got into, that we were playing around with. So anyway, so that's how far we've gotten. And so then when we get the next expansion, and that will be in, probably beginning of January, we'll get the level bump. Ended with. Thank you, Willow knows. I appreciate all of you jumping in here and helping me with words. Words are hard. There we go. There's Ended with. So yes, we've, oh my gosh, we've like hardly touched any of this yet though, because we just finished coming out of the Mirkwood area. So, and there's a lot of stuff in here that's above our level that we don't have access to yet anyway. So we're not in a rush. Oh, that's the whole point. On Treebeard, we're not in a rush. So yeah, usually I have my Stone of the Tortoise on, or I'm sitting here at level cap as I am right now. I'm sitting here at level 65, which is our level cap. But the funny thing is after we came out of Moria, and then when we got, so Moria was capped at 60. And then when we got into Mirkwood and everything, and Ended with, it gave us up to 65, level 65. And we were getting, so there was a couple of things, because in your trait tree, class traits and all of that, if you go to your virtue traits, which is the third tab down, the bottom tab, they are maxed out at half of your level. So when I was level 60, they would cap out at level 30. So you'll notice that all of my stuff is level 30 and above because I maxed out all of my trait tree, all of my virtues. I was sitting and waiting for the next one because we had like various deeds that we're not completing because that'll give us like 2,000 virtue experience and we don't want that to go to waste. And so as soon as we got the next bump, and since it was only 5 levels, it was worth it to go ahead. And so I did put the earrings on because we were just like, let's just zoom through because it was only 5 levels. So things didn't turn like gray to us or anything like that. Like we were still pretty close to on level with a lot of the stuff. So that was not a problem. Because that's kind of the point. Like we want to experience things around the level that it is for, as opposed to, being level 130 and then coming back and like poo. And, it's kind of, sometimes that's nice, but sometimes it's like, well, that's a little silly. I didn't need to do that. So we zoomed up to 65 with the earrings. Also, there was a travel skill that I wanted, and that was like minimum level 64. And there was 1 or 2 other things. Oh, to do some of the deeds in the instances. No, was it? No, I think it was because what's that guy? The treasure Boogan event was on, and there's an instance that's level 65 that was really easy to find the treasure Boogan in halls. No, wait, not sword halls. And so if we were level 65, we could do that instance as part of the treasure Boogan event. So we kind of zoomed on up to 65 so we could do that. So that was kind of funny. So we did have the earrings on for a little while. Okay. Oh, by the way, I do have closed captions running. Hopefully, I don't know, it seems like it's giving me some weird stuff over there. So hopefully it is coming through okay. But you should have like a little closed caption CC inside of a little box over on if you look way over in that direction at the end. Keep going past the cat. So if that's there, please feel free to use that and let me know if it's working okay. And speaking of the cat, she has decided to cuddle up over here rather than on top of my desk, so that is convenient for streaming. All right. Speaking of streaming, I was going to take you all around the festival with me. So the Farmer's Fair is on. As I was mentioning, there's all sorts of funny little things you can do in the game, right? There's all sorts of various directions you can go. Like you can go and like gear up and hit things, or you can, go to various events and be social and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more on the social side. Not that I don't, enjoy hitting a thing once in a while, but definitely enjoy the social things as well. So throughout the year, SSG, the folks who make this game for us all to play in, have various events throughout the year. So this one is the Farmer's Festival, and it used to be, the Farmer's Fair, it used to become separate from an event that came really close on its heels. Like it was a month apart, and then it was like closer and closer and closer and closer until it got to be like a week apart. It was a little crazy. And that is the Summer Festival. So a couple years ago, SSG created a new festival called the Midsummer Festival, and that coincides with the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen. Spoilers. So that's happening over in Minas Tirith. There's all sorts of cool stuff happening there. But because that is happening midsummer, that really started pushing the summer festival around. So they decided to just combine the Summer Festival and the Farmer's Fair together. So you'll find that this festival has a lot going on, and it's happening up here at the hill, down to Hobbiton, but really the stuff in Hobbiton is still related to what's going on at the hill. There's the fishing pond over near Bywater, and then in like downtown Bywater itself by the Green Dragon, there's a whole bunch of quests there as well. So you could do probably, and that's not even counting that there's 4 fishing quests that you can do. One of them is at the Bywater Pond, but the other 3 are out and about. One's, in Thorns Hall, one's in Kellendim, and one's south of Bree, the town of Bree. That's not even counting those. And then there's the 2 horse races. There's a quest at the Bree Festival grounds you can do, where it's basically collect some fireworks and then turn them in. And that counts as a festival quest. There's, what else I was just thinking? Of course, there's the dances, but they don't count as a festival quest if you're counting for like the daily wrapper. I think the Inn League and the Ale Association is also open, which is another way to get festival tokens. So there's a lot going on. So you could like really clean up on festival tokens in this festival. And that is also not even including this lady over here, Verbena Greenhand, who is around for some of the festivals. She is around for, let me actually pull up the instance finder. I know that seems like a strange place to go, but follow me on this. It makes sense. The seasonal instances that give you festivity tokens, you'll find Verbena is also around because she is your festivity token barterer. There we go. The Flurry of Fireworks, I believe, gives you festivity tokens. So basically, they keep flushing this out. There used to be fewer things here, but now they're slowly trickling in more and more throughout the year. So what they've kind of been doing is, say, for example, the Yule Festival. That's the first one where they did this, I think. That's where it started. They had 2 instances you can do. There's one called in this case is Yule, the Battle at Frostbluff. So it has the name of the festival, basically, like what is it tied to, and then the name of the event, of the instance. And that one you can do as minimum as level 10, as it sees here, up to the maximum of your level. So pretty much anybody can do that. And that one's a little more lighthearted. The kids are having a snowball fight, and the Grims have come in, and the cold has come in and kind of taken over their little snow forts, that kind of thing. That's fun. So they you can go in and do that, and you go and you help them recapture their forts, and at the end they're like, hooray, and you get festivity tokens from that. So cute. And the equivalent then for the other festivals, so in the spring, you've got Bees Big Business. So the bees are going to go out and pollinate, and you follow them around and make sure they're safe from the goats that are nearby. Totes my goats. And that, again, minimum level 10. So most anybody can engage in that. And then the summer, this is what we have here, is the Perfect Picnic. And that one, you're trying to go have a picnic with Flower Dumpling, and he forgot his hat, so he's got to run back, get his hat. So you take Penny, which is a pony, and she's all loaded up with all of the goods you need for the picnic, and you're going to walk her up to the hill where she needs to go for the picnic and unload it up there and everything. So, and the heat has come on, and you got to get rid of the heat on your way up there. And then once you get there, you put all the picnic goods out, and then the bugs are coming, and there's hobbits that are coming, and the rain is coming, so you got to defend against all that. And then you can have your perfect picnic. So it's fun. That one's cute. And then the Anniversary Festival, they added in a flurry of fireworks. I'm pretty sure that one's also festivity tokens, because it is also a lighthearted one. Gandalf wants to light off some fireworks, and so there's some stuff that you've got to do to make that happen. Now you'll notice, though, on each of these, except for the Anniversary one, there is also a thing called Boss from the Vaults. And that one is a higher level. That's a minimum level 50. And so that is basically you are re-encountering a boss fight from something that you've probably already encountered. So at Yule, it's Storvagun, that big giant up in the snowy mountains. From spring, it was Noruhel, the Red Maid, that you encounter in the Lone Lands, in the place that starts with an A. Argogmar. Some days. Not Angmar. I'm in the wrong place. Hang on. Not Bree. Oh my goodness. Y'all, my brain, I need help some days. Agamar. She's up in, or Agamar, or however you want to pronounce that. So Garth Argar one, up in that area. Okay, so she's the one yeah, Agamar, thank you. Thanks before. And then for this festival, the Farmer's Fair, we have Boss from the Vault's Thrang, who's down in the Rift. He's in that big room full of fire. And, okay, Garth Garwin, thank you, Willow. And so he's the one that you do that again, level 50, and from there. So that's kind of what's going on there. So if you have one of these lighter-hearted festival instances going on, you will find Verbena Greenhand and all the things that she has, because you can only get festivity tokens during those specific places, and she's the only one you can spend them with. And she has different stuff each festival, so that's why I'm like, really want to get on this. So let's see, I've got a whole bunch of the things so far, but I don't have the Tome of the Green Peahen from her. I do have the Perfect Picnic Steed. I don't think I have the Picnic Blanket. I'll have to think about that. I can't remember if I got that on here or if I got that on a Nor. And with the Nor closing, I'm going to be all completely messed up. Oh, I don't have the Tome of the Woodland Heart either. Okay, so I definitely want to get those two. The Tome of the Woodland Heart and the Tome of the Green Peahen. So I need 20 for that, which I have. But then I need another 20 for that. So I need to do 4 more of the Perfect Picnics in order to have the tokens that I need for that. Now, I don't know if you noticed when I was in that instance finder, but the you can set the lighter-hearted ones at different sizes. So I could run this at level 1, 2, 3, 6, or 12. There's no tiering or anything like that. It's just the level. Like, are you doing it a solo duo? Are you doing it a small fellowship, large fellowship, or a raid? Basically, is what they're looking at. Bee's Big Business took out the raid. Didn't include a raid one, I should say. They didn't take it out. They just didn't put it in. And Frostbluff also doesn't have a raid, so only the Picnic one has. I wonder if Picnic was first and then Battle at Frostbluff was second then. And they were just like, yeah, forget this raid business. And anyway, each of those categories, there's 4 categories, even though you're seeing 5 things here, there's only 4 categories. Just trust me on this. Each of those 4 categories has a separate chest, and the locks on those chests are daily. So I could do all 4 sizes in one day and get my 20 tokens. Now, running the raid is actually kind of hard unless you're doing it with at least 6 people, even at level 10, because they throw so many bugs and hobbits at you that you're just like, trying to catch them all. It's so crazy. I always forget which it is, and we look at the, Before and I went through and we're like, okay, which one is the overlapping lock? Because it's either solo duo that overlaps, or it's duo small fellowship that overlaps, right? So we every year it's like, we're like, which one is it? And so one year we finally were like, okay, figured it out, put it in the LOTRO wiki, which I mentioned earlier. So then we just have to go to the wiki and look it up. So we can take care of ourselves that way. Let our past selves help out our future selves. So when you get to the festival, in LOTRO festivals, they're pretty, they kind of have like a pattern that they follow, which is really handy. There will be a festival coordinator, festival somebody who is the one that you want to talk to and get the wrapper for that day. Okay. Before says, the wiki page started in 2018 for seasonal instances with Boss from the Vault's Thrang and Perfect Picnics. So maybe they were first. Okay, so maybe the summer one was first. Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for that information. Okay, so Campanula Chubb here. We're going to talk to her. And she's going to give me a sunny fair day. And basically, she wants me to go and participate in 10 Farmer's Fair activities in total, and then come back to her. She's going to give me some Farmer's Fair tokens and some legendary item experience. I will tell you that the legendary item experience you get is actually not bad from Festival. I have, well, on this server I have like 12 characters or something. I think I only have 2 pages, so that would be 6 each, right? So that's 12. And let's see. In order to get the legendary item experience from a festival quest, You have to be at least level 51, we discovered, not 45, but 51. And you have to have done, the quest to get your legendary items. So once you are in that situation, then these festival quests will earn legendary experience for you. So I've been running 9 characters then, because one's level 45, so she's not going to get it. One, she doesn't have her things, and that one doesn't have her things. There might be a 4th one that doesn't have her legendary stuff, though. So I've been running either 8 or 9 characters through the festival, and I did it like every day for like 5 days in a row or something. It was pretty crazy. I was on vacation. But you can see I've already gotten up to, and this reward tracker just opened up like 7 days ago, like not that long ago. And I already have level 21, so that's pretty awesome. Because, so this is the 3rd season reward track that they're doing, and it runs about 3 months each time. So at level, so this one they're doing, so the first legendary reward track, it was mainly all legendary stuff. Like you got legendary, the things that go into your thing, the things that you socket in there, the traceries, or you got the stuff that lets you upgrade the slot, these things, the enhancement runes, or it was the ancient script, which is the currency you use to buy those traceries to go into your legendary item, or to buy more legendary items if you want more. Like, for example, before is a minstrel, and so most of the time he's doing DPS, but sometimes he's doing healing. And so if there's time, he will switch, because he has a set of 2 legendary items that he uses for when he's on DPS, but a different set of 2 for when he's healing, and he'll swap those out. So that's pretty cool. All right, we have a purple person, sorry, it says, hey, new player here. I don't know anything about legendary items. Would you mind explaining? Absolutely. I absolutely do not mind explaining. Yes, and so B4 starts off with kind of a little quick introduction there. So during the introduction to Moria, he says, each class gets 2 legendary items. Usually you get a weapon and something else. So, for example, so let me kind of backtrack a little bit, because if you're a brand new player, that might not make sense to you yet, even talking about Moria. So you probably started the game as, a hobbit or an elf or a dwarf or a man or a bjorning. So you probably, so one of those, right? So you started either out here in Arid Luin, up near Thorin's Gate if you were a dwarf, or down here near Kellendim if you're an elf, or maybe if you were a man, human-y type person, you started off in like the Bree area, Archette, Combe, that kind of area. Or if you're a hobbit, you started off in the Shire. Like there's some introductory stuff that you do. There's some cinematics and a little bit of like, little light story, but it's also kind of to introduce you how to engage with the UI in the game. Like, here's how you pick up a thing. Hey, character, pick up that bag. Double click on it, all these various things, right? So you probably already went through that. Okay, cool. So you're a Bjorning at level 23. So a Bjorning is a really interesting choice to take as a new character, because you started like way over here for your introduction stuff, but then they sent you over here into the early part of the world. And so that's kind of how LOTRO works in a way, is that Eriador over here is like level 1 through 50. And then you get into Moria, and that's like level 45 to 60. And then you move out here, and that's like level 65. And so as each expansion came into the game and it took you further into the game, it would raise your level cap, and it would add more area to the world that you can run around in. So, so that's kind of like a general overview of what to expect as you go through. So you'll see how people then, you get to like Rohan, and that stuff is going to be a certain level. And then you get down to like Gondor, and that stuff's higher level than it was in Rohan, because you went through Rohan to get to Gondor. By the time you get to Mordor, you're a much higher level than you were when you were in Gondor, and so on. So that's kind of typical of how things run through the game, is almost geographically, you're you'll find that your levels match the geography in a way. So just kind of so you have that to anticipate. So yeah, so when you get over here to the Misty Mountains and when you go into Moria, there's a whole quest line to start to bring you into Moria, and it is here. The Walls of Moria is here in Eregion. Let me scoot back out again. So you can technically you could just like skip everything you're doing and just go straight there once you're level 45. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, especially if it's your first time through the game. Like we were talking about earlier, there's this epic storyline, and it kind of takes you alongside the Fellowship of the Ring, the Fellowship as they're doing, you know, the whole thing. And I think it's a really good way to introduce you to the areas of the game as well. So I would suggest you follow that. But that said, once you hit level 45, you are eligible to go into Moria and start that quest chain. So when you first get to the Walls of Moria there, over here in Eregion, you'll need to somehow find your way to Ekadunen, which is right here. And you walk over to a dwarf who's standing by, you know, one of those shimmering doorways. And he's like, hey, you know, we're excited. We're going to go into retake Moria. It's going to be awesome. Some folks went in there. We haven't heard from them, but we're sure everything's fine. You know, it's that kind of thing. And they send you in there. You do some quests. You know, pick up some rocks and you do some various things. And then they go and they're like, great, we're going to open the doors. You know, this is a little crazy, like how everything's falling apart, but we're going to get ourselves in there. And then the Watcher in the Water comes out. And they're like, whoa, this is intense, and we are not capable of dealing with this at this point. So they send you back out to Ekadunen, just outside, and there's a dwarf who's there who's like, hey, we found these things. Why don't you take one of these and go and, you know, learn how to use it? And that's a legendary weapon. So, I mean, you can think of it as being like, you know, Aragorn's sword, or, you know, or the Baggins, you know, with Sting and that sort of thing. So like, it's supposed to be like full on legendary. This is pretty neato. So you get that first one, and then you kind of learn how to use it. Yeah, Sting, Glamdring, etc. Yeah, and then you go back into Moria. You find, you know, you take care of the Watcher in the Water. At least you scare it off, really. Like, there's no way you're taking that thing out. You just get it to stop attacking you and stop attacking the dwarves. And then you go into the very first hall on that side of Moria, and they'll give you a second legendary item in that, kind of in that quest chain. And we're well before pop up in case I'm missing anything or getting anything out of order there. But I'm pretty sure that's kind of the order of how it goes. Once you have both of those legendary items, you are going to want to make sure that they're equipped on your person, and that they have stuff in their slots. So what do I mean by that? So this is one of my legendary items. I'm a hunter. So one of the legendary items, legendary things that I get is a bow. I can get a bow. Pretty awesome. Yeah. Hunters are one of the few that we get 2 weapons. Most people get like a sword and a book, or, you know, something like that. But they go into your screen, into your character screen. So it makes a lot of sense. Yes, and you want to have both of those. They are very important to you. So you'll see that I have little squares on here. Those are what are called traceries. And it's basically like I've gone to, you know, the master of attack damage, and I've said, hey, I would like to imbue this weapon with the ability to do really good damage if I just attack one thing. And so they're like, cool, put this, you know, so they're like, that's kind of what the idea of was what's going on here. Now, what you really do is you get these legendary things. Let's see, Tracery. Do I have any open? Yeah, so for example, what I really have is this little bauble here, and you'll see it says Focus Bow Critical Multiplier. So that's what it does. It tells me what it's going to do, and I could slide this over. See how they're sparkling? I could swap this in for one of my other spots, but you'll notice that this isn't sparkling. This isn't sparkling. So there are 4 categories of slots on your legendary item. One is the Heraldry, and that's going to have, there's only like 5, 8 maybe different options for this. So I have the Heraldry of the Serpent because it gives me agility and vitality, and that's really good for a hunter. And yes, purple person, they do level with you. Now, you do need to basically take them back to a specialist every so often and reforge them. So basically, yeah, you go to your reforging person. So, and I just happen to have one in my pocket. And every 5 levels, you can reforge it, and it will bump up some of the stats on the legendary item. So, like each of these slots has a range, and you can improve those slots. Each of these traceries that you have, there's like 4 different levels of them that you can get. For example, this one, you'll notice it has blue letters. Blue is nice. Purple is less nice. There's like there's yellow and there's gold, which, you know, that's not confusing. The yellowish ones are the least good, but the gold ones are the best. So you kind of want to like, yeah, you won't be doing this for a while, absolutely. But it gives you just kind of like trying to give you an over good on that. There we go. Yellow is the worst. Purple's the next good. Cyan, which is this blue one. And then orange or gold is the best one. You'll hardly ever see an orange gold one, and you don't need it. They're like end game content. Like, you don't even need to worry about it. Purple is fantastic. Or sorry, cyan. The blue cyan ones, perfect, fantastic. You're going to be really happy with it. Yes, Egg Arthur does point out, though, that you don't get a reminder when you hit a level that allows you to reforge. Oh, but you have a plugin that reminds you of that. Very nice. Well, which plugin? I'm curious. So you'll just kind of have to keep track of that. It's usually on the 1s and the 6s. So 51, 56, 61, 66, etc. So there's 4 different kinds of traceries that you'll be playing with. You've got Word of Craft. So like, you know, it's a general thing. The Word of Mastery is very specific to your class. So you'll get some really cool Bjorning options under the Mastery options. Word of Power is also kind of class specialized, but it's not. But you can really make it like really good for you, which is fantastic. And then the heraldic traceries, which are pretty cool too. So those are what you've got to play with in the future. You might get a slight taste of this ahead of time because you might find yourself with an armor item that has little slots in it, little squares like that, where you can take things like these essences and slot them into the spot. So it's very, very similar. It has that same kind of technology, if you like to say. So I know this question popped up because I was talking about legendary item experience, and you're like, but wait, now that you mentioned all of this stuff about legendary items, I don't see where this experience business comes in. That's because basically they had an older legendary item process, and it wasn't as it was different. You'll find people who will be like, I like the old legendaries better, but it was convoluted because basically it feels like they were like kind of it started off for, you know, a certain level, and then as the game kept growing, it felt like they kept trying to make it work for the higher and higher levels by adding things to it. And I think after a while it was just like, this is not what we had in the first, met in the first time. And so they were lucky enough to be able to kind of like tear it all down and create a new system for us. And I'm really glad, because I like this new system a lot. Because the old system, you would get a legendary item, but it would max out. And so then you would get a new legendary item, and you would take that old one and you would break it apart and use some of the pieces on the new one. I'm like, what? It's like, you're not going to throw away Sting. Like, what? So I'm really glad they came out with a new version of doing this. So the old legendary items used to gain experience, and that's how they would level up. And now they just level up with you as long as you go and reforge it every so often. So now they've got like all these quests lying around, especially in Moria, where you were earning legendary item experience. What are you going to do with that? So that's where they came up with this. And that's this legendary item reward track. So anytime you have a quest where you would have earned legendary item experience, it's going to go to this track instead. And this track now gives you goodies. And so this is a kind of a new thing. Like, this is the third iteration of the track, and they're running it for 3 months at a time. So the previous one just ended. So this is about like a little over 6 months ago that they introduced this reward track for capturing that legendary item experience. And I like it. I think I like it. Obviously, I would make some changes, like give you more customizability and what you get and all that kind of thing. But, you know, I don't know the stats on, you know, what draws a player into play and whether one thing is better than another and stuff like that. So I'm perfectly happy with this. I'm also perfectly happy with this because the first version of this legendary items reward track is yes, I am was very, very focused on just things for your legendary items, which was great because the new legendary items were reasonably new at that point. We were still figuring them out, and you know, we needed more of that currency, and like there was all sorts of stuff going on. So sure, like that was great. But for those people who already had their legendary items all sorted out, and now you're getting all this stuff for it, and you're like, but I don't want any of it. What are you gonna do with it? Well, now they've included some fun things for those of us who like some of the other fun stuff. And so before it says you're already through box 21, not through it. I'm in it though. I'm currently getting progress on that one. So like I said, I was running like 8 characters through the festival every day who were earning festival, you know, legendary item experience. I did that for like 5 days or something. So I got a lot. But so what they did last track is on the 25, the 50, the 75, and the 100, there were special fun things that you can get. And so they did that same thing this time. So on the 25, you can get like a housing item, little coffer, the coffer, the box, and it contains in it the cook. It contains a pot and skillet item. It's just a one set, you know, it goes into your housing item stuff. So that's cute. I'm looking forward to getting to play with that. And then I think at like level 40 or 45. Oh yeah, so this is different. This one is a coffer of craft. It contains a shattered tracery token, and those are kind of harder to come by, and a word of craft recipe selection box, which means what they're saying is it's a recipe to let you make your own word of craft tracery, which sounds insane. So I haven't earned one of those yet. I'm curious because somebody else showed a screen cap that they had opened theirs, and it was like Gundabad level, which is nowhere near where we are. We'll get Gundabad in like 4 years. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see, what did I miss in the chat? That, yes, hunters and wardens get 2 items, says Egg Arthur, and everyone else gets a melee weapon and a class item. We talked about the leveling. Excellent. And then, yep, reforging the item as you level up. And you can improve which traceries. You can pick better traceries to put in there. You can improve the slot that the traceries go into, which I really like because you can put all these runes or whatever into improving that spot, but I like how that persists. So like if I swap out the tracery that's in there and put a different one in there, the slot's still as good as it was. And I appreciate that. And you talked about alerter or something out of your fork for reminding you to when to reforge. Before it says, I like this current legendary item system a lot compared to the old one. It feels like, yeah, it fits into the world a lot better. I agree. So yes, Treebeard moves slowly, and we're fine with that. Like, this is good for us. I'm quite happy. Like, if we ever get to a point where I find that I have extra time, like I kind of did during our vacation, I just started playing all my characters a bunch, or I went and played another character a bunch. So like, if we ever have extra time, I'll just come and play one of my other characters on Treebeard. Like, I don't mind having extra time in the game before we go to the next one. So let's see. So that was 40, 45, and it was a regular thing. So 50 will include a cosmetic item, which is a an elven quiver, Sylvan elf quiver. So that'll be interesting to see which one that is. I expect Gail will be quite interested to see it. Let's see, a coffer of heraldry. I think there's another recipe. Oh, 75 gives you a coffer of the, the tome of the black bat. So that'll be fun because I think that's new. I was looking at that and I didn't see it from anywhere else. I may have missed another goodie. I think there was like 2 or 3 of those recipe ones. Oh yeah, here's another one at level 90. And then level 100 is the painted steed, the painted skeleton steed, which you can also earn through the Halloween event, or not called Halloween, but the Harvest Festival. Not emotes, yeah. Skeleton. So let's see, there's a green skeleton pony that you can buy from the store. There's the red one. Oh, that's interesting. It says available from the Pick a Mount package. Oh, and found as a rare drop in loot boxes. Yeah, I don't have that. But this one is, yes, available in the LOTRO store or by completing the quest on a horse painted pail during the Fall Festival, which is a really rare quest. It's a rare quest drop, I guess is a good way to put it. So like out of all my characters, and this is across like 5 servers, I think 1, maybe 2 of my characters have actually gotten this painted skeleton pony. So pretty rare. So that's what's going on there. And I am definitely working on doing things that give me legendary item experience because I want all the goodies. And I don't mean all the legendary rewards stuff. I want the housing stuff and the pony and the bat, and I like collecting all the pets and all those things. Okay, so we picked up the quest from her. Now, I was planning on doing some various quests around here. So what I do is I just zoom around, and either I'll do usually the quests up here at the party tree, or I'll do the quest down at Bywater. I don't often do both unless I'm trying to get a lot of tokens, because that's way more than the 10 that I need. So what actually I'm going to do is we're going to skip past. But if you were doing the party tree ones, you want to pick from her and him and her and her. And this is what we did last week. So you can go and check my video from last week, actually, because we did all of the quests up here. But one thing we didn't do, because I had already picked it up and turned it in, was Ned Longbottom. About twice a week this quest is available. And to the Keg Races and to the other one, the other racing. So basically, I'm going to run up the hill because he's basically trying to send me off to the races that are over here, the Taste of Hobbiton and the Horse to the Keg Race. So what I usually do is, if I'm going to do these races, and we'll go and do them right now, is I start with the Keg Race because I want to make a loop. Because the Keg Race will take me to Hobbiton, but it won't take me back to the party tree. But the Hobbiton one will take me back to the party tree. Oh, instead of me just running on here. Okay, so I came in basically from this door. If I go out this door, I end up at Thorn's Gate. So, like, you know, don't go that way if you don't want to end up at Thorn's Gate. So you run in and you turn to the left. Now, you'll notice that there's some dwarves running by me here. That means the race has already started, which means I cannot pick somebody for this race. It's too late. So I could stand around here, wait for the race to finish. That's like 3 minutes. Then wait for the race to kind of reset. That's another 3 minutes. And then I could pick somebody from the race and wait for 3 minutes for it to start. While we are waiting, I'm going to go over to Hobbiton. So there is another race over here that happens. Are they in the middle of it? They run around here. They are not. Okay, which means this timer is going to start first. So we're waiting for this guy. He's our race festival announcer guy. So we're waiting for him to have a ring over his head, because once he does, we'll be able to pick, there will be 4 racers standing here, and we'll pick one of them. And if they are the winner, then we increment our deed, if we're still working on the deed, which most people are, and you also get festival tokens. So that's nice. But while we're waiting, we'll notice that this guy has a ring over his head, and that came from Mr. Longbottom over at the party tree. He wants me to talk to this guy. Basically, it's a go check out this quest. Go check out this event quest. And he's going to give me some legendary item experience and a midday's cider. Okay. And he says, hello, are you here to try your hand at picking the fastest contestant? Ta-da! That was it. So I got my legendary item experience. And I got that green day cider, which you can sell for 12 copper, or you can consume it. I usually sell them because I don't actually need it. Oh, but I'm going to keep those copper salts. We're going to keep the egg. Nope. And do I like these boots? No. We'll keep that so we can deconstruct it. Minor essence we're going to get rid of. Whetstone. Yeah, fine. We'll keep those. And what do I think of this ring? Has might and vitality. Has more vitality. Doesn't have more maximum morale, though. I think it would not be as good. That's tough. It's got critical rating. Critical rating is something I really like as a hunter. But I think I'm going to let it go. I keep looking for better jewelry because I'm level 65 and I'm wearing level 58 jewelry. You'd think I'd be able to find something better, but I have not. I keep not picking the things I find. So there we are. She's taken to sleeping next to me here, which is fantastic. And when she's like pretty zonked out, sometimes she starts kind of like a little when she's sleeping. It's really cute. I was actually over on the couch earlier and I heard her doing it, so that was pretty funny. She's a cutie. Okay, so while we're waiting for this guy, one thing you can do is he is also one of the festival rewards barterers. So basically, every festival you've got at least one person who, and sometimes as many as like 5, who you can trade your festival tokens to for, various goodies. So he's one of them, and he has an overlap of a bunch of the stuff that you can find back at the party tree or down at Bywater, same stuff. So let's see, we can see that the Hobbit Dance 4 emote, I have it because it's got in red there, barring emote Dance Hobbit 4. So I already have it. So I don't need to worry about that. Grant the fountain emote. I already have that. Oh, hey, it's up. Hooray. So I'm going to talk to this guy, and he's going to give me a quest, the Taste of Hobbiton. And he's like, hey, you should pick somebody. Would you like to try and pick somebody? So you pick up that first quest. That quest is what's going to increment for you most likely, because your odds are that your person's not going to win. So you then talk to him again and you pick your actual person. So I'll pick Dashing Daffodilly. Sure, sounds great. Go Daffodilly go. Now they're going to run around, and at the end, so I'll have 2 quests running right now. I've got, let me pull that up. Whoop. What just happened? Oh, weird. My game just went. Oh, there we go. That was wild. It paused. I'm not used to that. Got new computers and they're like zippy doo-dah. It's great. Okay, so I have 2 quests here involving the Taste of Hobbiton. I have watch the race to see if your contestant will win. Do not leave the race area. And then I have observe the race to see if Daffodilly is victorious. Do not leave the race area. So what often happens is I will fail the quest with the person's name on it, but you succeed the one that says watch the race to see if your contestant will win. So you get, you still get credit towards your daily wrapper by participating in the race, even if your person doesn't win. So there was a question, we were talking about that the other day, so I was making sure that that I wanted to talk about that. Oh, before I was pointing out that, yeah, if you filter completed quests and then switch back to active quests, your game client can pause while it swaps everything out. That's true. I was under completed quests. I had that checkmarked before, and I forgot to uncheck that. So because it's a long list. So for people who've been playing LOTRO for a while, you know, something that comes up is lag. And there was a conversation that Severlin had recently, and Severlin is the executive producer of the game. And he was doing like a Q&A session, and he said that the quest log system here, somehow it's like become, I don't know, bloated wasn't the word that he used, but basically because we as players are completing so many quests, so you'll notice like I can have, you know, up to 55 active quests here. So that's going to be at most, 55 things here. But if I show my completed quests, and keep in mind, this is just a level 65 character. First of all, notice that it takes a minute, and this is on a beefy computer at the moment too. But you see, I have 3,318 quests that I have completed. So that's what it has to load, and I can just even collapse that. So it has to, these are all the different categories in which I have completed quests. So that is a lot of stuff that this game is trying to load. So that's one of the areas they're looking at to try and figure out how they can reduce the load on the servers with people being able to still look at their quest logs, right? So all sorts of interesting behind the scenes stuff there. And then to be fair, yeah, as B4 points out, the game started with hundreds of quests, and now there's like, yeah, tens of thousands of quests available. It's something. Oh, I was going to talk about the deed. So in your deed log in the game, you might find, what is it, under skirmish or instances? No. Is it under class race epic? It might be under race and social. Yeah. Okay. So under class race epic, the class race epic tab, if you go down to the bottom, the second tab over is race and social. These are your race and social deeds. Oh, okay. I want to keep an eye out and see who's coming. Okay. So there's a quest or a deed, because we called a day at the races, a lucky day at the races. And if you successfully pick the winner, each of the people at least once, the 4 hobbits here and the 4 dwarves over in the drinking quest, the drinking race, once you've picked each one successfully at least once, you finish this deed, a lucky day at the races, and you get a title called Lucky Duck. So that one's funny. Hey, Daffodilly's actually doing quite well. Hang on, I want to see how this works out. Well, there we go. I got credit for that. And then when I do this, do I get a second one? I'm curious. Finish now. Interesting. Okay. So if you lose, that's 1 festival activity. If you win, that's 2 festival activities. Well, that's kind of neat. Okay. So I'm going back to the keg races, because remember we kind of were like pausing on this one. And my guess is they're going to be lined up. Oh, they're not. Okay, cool. We got time. Okay, so again, the same sort of thing. We run over. There's 2 guys standing here. This is the guy that we're going to talk to about picking a racer. And this guy is the one that Longbottom back at the party tree sent us to go talk to. And he's basically like, hey, you should try your hand at this game. I'm like, okay. And he also gives us, this one is a Summer Perry's Porter. Drink deeply of Perry's Porter, it says. Now, unlike the Hobbit side, there is, yeah, I'm up to 3 activities that, well, one for, sorry, B4 asks, is that 3 activities? If Daffodilly brings you the golden egg, oh my gosh, right? That golden egg is so hard to get. Crazy, crazy cakes. All right. Oh, it looks like another race just ended. How interesting. All right. Well, while we're waiting, like I said, unlike the Hobbit area, here in the dwarf area, there is somebody standing on the side who has a quest for us, and we can complete this from inside here. So Scully over here was watching the race, and he was so mad, and he started throwing his things, and he's like, can you go find my things, because I've lost them all. So you'll notice they're kind of sparkling as we go around. So I'm going to go backwards from the way that the race goes, because I find that I see the things more clearly when I'm approaching them from behind than if I'm approaching them from the same direction, the race direction. For example, that mug was right there, and there's this cluster of crystal. So if I were coming from this way, you don't see it. See how it's like hiding behind the crystal there? Whereas coming at it from the other way, it was very clearly right there. So that's why I find it easier to go backwards. The golden egg that before is referring to is for the egg scramble event. Or I'll show you that after we're done with these races. So, but there's the pickaxe that we need to pick up, a mining pick. And then he has lost his spear, which is over here in the water. And this is the water that's very close to the door when we came in. So that door that we came in, the spear is right there. And then we're going to keep going and head towards back to the beginning. And here's his lucky gem. I'd say he's very lucky it didn't fall down. And now we have all of his things. And he's like, yay, I can get back to sulking. But at least I have all my stuff. So we can hang out here. Now you can't jump down there. I've tried. Can't get down there at all. You can go this little roundabout here. So there's this keg. This is the first one that they drink out of. You can go around behind here. Cute little rails like that. That doesn't, you can't go that way. But you can keep going this way. And you come back around to Scully. Kicking his wagon, I guess. And then we're back to where we started. So that's kind of cool. So yes, the golden egg is another deed. It's part of the egg hunt. So the egg scramble. So there's a couple of deeds. Oh, excuse me. With the farmer's fair that you can complete by doing the various activities. So after you do a lucky day of the races, that opens up a pair of quests. Too much running. Let me scroll down to it, because these are alphabetical within their categories. So there's oh wait, no, that's not it. That says too much of everything. Oh, much running. Sorry, much running, much eating. There it is. Okay, so on the dwarven side, there's much drinking, much running. And then on the Hobbit side, there's much eating, much running. So you have to pick the correct winner 3 times each. So you have to win with Daffodilly 3 times, with Birdie 3 times, with Gaddy, and then with Murdoch. And then the same thing in here. And so that finishes its own little quest, and you get a bunch of tokens for that. And it's 15 tokens, which is pretty awesome. And then you have to do the same thing with the dwarves. So win with Colmar 3 times, Lar, Signar, and Otto each 3 times. And once you do that, you also get 15 Farmer's Fair tokens. If you manage to complete both much drinking, much running, and much eating, much running, that finishes off like an Uber one. And that one is too much of everything. You get a bunch of Farmer's Fair tokens. You get a title, Picky Picker, which is funny. But then you also get an emote, and this is the only way you can get this emote, and it's called Heave. So it's really kind of gross. It's as if you had too much. But here, I'll do it for you just because, you know. So if people watching people throw up triggers something in you, you might want to look away. But here we go. There it is. Like, gross. All right, so now he's ready. Keg hopping race. So this is the one where it's like, hey, you want to pick somebody? Don't leave the place. Don't leave the area. We'll take Colmar. Well, Colmar never wins when I pick him, but that's okay. I already did it. I've already got the quest. I've already got the deed finished. Because up until this year, this race and the Hobbit race were hourly. Like you had a 1 hour cooldown. So I could go back in an hour and try again. and then I'd wait an hour and come back and try again. So I just had like a little reminders thing set, and then, you know, every when the timer would go off, I'd go back and try it again. And eventually you hit, right? Like you just pick the same person over and over and over and over again. Eventually you're going to hit. And so that's how I was able to finish these. But this year they changed it to once a day. It resets with all the other festival activities that are only once a day, which is really sad, because this is not an easy one to finish, and it's going to take people years to finish this one now, I think. So that's kind of a bummer. The other one, and before I was referencing this in the chat, is the egg scramble. You go and you pick up eggs off the ground, and there's a bunch of quests associated with that one and the mushroom hunt. So those, I kind of pair them together. So you've got these two race ones together, and you've got the mushrooms and the eggs together, which makes for a great breakfast. So it seems like I'd pair them well together. Excuse me. So the egg scramble, you have to win 5 times, and you get a D Novice Scrambler title. Tier 2, win 20 times, and you get the Excellent, which I should be wearing that more often. Uh-oh, my phone is ringing. Before, are you able to run down here and grab this from me if it's something important? Hang on just a moment. My apologies. Hello?
Hi, Natasha.
Okay, thanks for that, everybody. So we've been trying to get a house improvement piece done. We're trying to get dormer windows put in on the house, and we, let's see, a guy came by last fall, I'm thinking October, and we were like, hey, you do windows, do you do dormer windows? And he's like, we absolutely do. And we're like, we're interested. And then, like, I think in December, we had an appointment, and he came out and he looked and like, yes, we can do this. And then, like, there's just been a lot of delays, because it was supposed to be done this spring, and then we're like, hey, can it be done this summer? And they're like, yeah, absolutely, we'll be able to get it done this summer. And we're still waiting. So they finally got back to us last week, which was, no, 2 weeks ago. And they're like, we'll call you back next week, because they're on holiday. We're like, absolutely fine, no worries. You know, everybody goes on holiday in Europe, understand. And so he was supposed to call us back last week at the end of the week, and he didn't. So like, I went ahead and made a phone call today and left a message. And so now he's calling back right now. So, and I think he just said he's going to call us back tomorrow morning, which is hilarious because we're in class on Wednesday mornings now. They always want to call us when we're in class. That's the only time they ever call us back, is when we're in class usually. So I'm like, this is an important phone call. We need to take this. So I'm glad that before I was able to pause from his work and pop down here and grab that. So sounds like they're still working it out. Awesome. Okay, so egg scramble. Win 20 times, get the title, the Excellent, which is fantastic. What is my current title? Tree Whisperer. Oh, that is a good one too, though. I might switch to the Excellent because that is a fantastic title. Colmar, are you kidding me? What? Colmar has won the race. Look at that. 2 for 2. Okay, apparently I have to do this when I'm streaming, and you all just come along with me, and that's how we win these things. So I don't get the consolation present because I got the real present. Oh, which was the real present all along, which gave me 7 Farmers Fair tokens. So one of the things they did, because this isn't once an hour anymore, it's once a day, is the consolation present gives more, and the winning the race gives more tokens, because this was also a way to get a bunch of tokens over time. So, all right, I'm actually going to pop out to my, oh, wait a minute. Do we have ice to do? I will, okay, you know, we'll just take the horse pony thing. So we'll just take our free little pony options here. So we're going to take the pony to the Horse of Hobbiton, and then we'll take the one right next to it to get back to the party tree. So that's over here by where the race started. There's 2 ponies here. So one's to the keg race where we just were, one's to the party tree where we're going. And there's a lady down the hill, and we take ice to her periodically. So I'm going down there. So since I'm already headed that way, let's do an ice delivery. So I'm talking to Tansy Tyfield there, and we're going to grab that ice, and we're going to walk that down the hill. I did hear something to the effect of, I'll call you back tomorrow morning.
So the company's more or less on holiday until next Monday.
Okay.
So they'll call us back on Monday.
Okay, they'll call us back next week. All right, they're on holiday now. The entire company's on holiday now. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully I will have news someday in the future that no, this company isn't a scam, and they really are going to install Windows for us sometime soon, hopefully. You may have noticed it's been a bit hot this summer. It's been hot in Europe as well as America, I know. And I think it's been hot in a number of other places in the world. So our hope was to have them during the summer because we're also getting Rolauken, which are like the metal screens that go on the outside. And it blocks out the light, but it also blocks the heat from coming in. They're fantastic. We have these on a number of windows through the house. The house came with them. And that's been really great for keeping the heat out. In fact, I think they're down right now upstairs because it was, we're trying to keep the heat out because it's like 30, 31 degrees today. So that we are hoping that it's coming. It's part of the installation, and that we'll have that up on the top floor, which will be wonderful because it gets really hot up there. And then we can just close those down to keep the heat from coming in the first place. That's going to be great. And we're going to have, so right now there's like one tilty window on each side of the house. And what we'll have instead are windows that are up and down, and we can put the screens in front of it to keep the heat from coming in the first place. But we're also going to have screens, so when we do open the window, we've got, mosquito nets there because there's a water air thing over nearby. So we get a lot of mosquitoes in the area. So that way we can open the windows huge and wide. So like overnight when it's cool, open the windows big, don't get a bunch of bugs in. Oh, it'll be great. I mean, like it's going to be wonderful. So we've been, I would say excited. I feel like excited kind of gets tempered when time takes a while, but anyway, we are excited to have those come eventually. Okay, so, I came down here because I wanted to go to these horses. So these little ponies over here, or horses, are a similar thing where it's a click on it and it takes you right there. So I'm going to start with Sanson's, and we'll go to do the egg thing. So I was talking about the eggs. Eggs terminate. Actually, you know what I want to do? Hold on. I want to go to my character. I want to go to my titles, which is right there. And I want to find, up in the search bar, egg. All right, we're going to make that active. All right, now I'm the excellent. Because that's such a good pun. I love it. Okay, nope, not quest log. Okay, my deed log, which is Shift L, by the way, if you're trying to find that. L is the log, Shift L is the thing. I'm not sure what you have noticed before, but that's awesome. So much. So anyway, okay. Talking about the windows. Oh, probably that it gets really hot up there. That he probably has noticed because that's where his office is. Yeah. It's been a little rough on some of these hot days. Thankfully, the computers are in good shape, so hooray for that. The computer on his desk in his office. Anyway, Egg Scramble. Okay, so in the Egg Scramble, there's a series of different quests. There is collect the solid colored eggs. So like get a blue one, a green one, an orange one, a red one, and a purple one. So they look like, do I have any on me? Here, this is a red egg. So what I would do is I would not just get this red egg, but I have to open it and then I'll get like a couple of, like I think one festival token comes out of these solid colored eggs. Oh, two. It says can be traded to other players, so it's not bound, thank goodness, or used to receive 2 Farmer's Fair tokens. So if I were to open it, I would get 2 Farmer's Fair tokens out of that. But I have already done the deed that involves opening that, so I'm going to hang on because I don't, there might be somebody else who's trying to do that deed, and I could help them out by giving them or putting in the auction house this solid egg. And so you see I have a blue, a green, an orange, a purple, and the red. I have all the colors for another character, another, kin member, whatever. Okay, so then there's 2 other kinds of eggs that you can collect, and those are these spotted eggs. So for example, they look like this. Here's a green and yellow spotted one. Here's a blue and red spotted one. So once you have acquired each one of those, and you have to open it, so once you open it, you can't sell it on the auction house. So you have to choose, do you open it, get the 5 Farmer's Fair tokens, and, move your deed ahead, or do you leave it and be like, okay, I'm going to sell this to somebody else, I'm going to give this to somebody else, whatever. Okay, so you've got the spotted ones, and then you've got the striped ones, and they look like these. So I have the orange and purple striped eggs, and these give you 10 Farmer's Fair tokens. So these are the kind of like the increasing difficulty levels, right? Here's a yellow and red spotted one, which by the way, looks very gold. I'm just going to say. So the last one, and I'm going to have to pull up the deed tracker for this, which is a plugin. Love LOTRO plugins. And in fact, let's put in plugins here. So this is the deed tracker plugin. Now, you don't have to play with plugins in the game. You can absolutely play LOTRO without any plugins. You can just play it straight up vanilla. If you ever see Cordovan play, he's the community manager. He doesn't use any plugins because he wants people to be able to see what it's like if you're just playing the game as it was given to us, right? But there is there's like some data that basically is allowed to be seen by using software, by creating software, and those are those plugins. And so those plugins can look at the data that's already known about your character. For example, have I collected these eggs? And it can present that then in a way that a plugin developer might create for me. So the deed tracker, which was made by B4, which is why I'm very, very familiar with it. It is set up just like the deed log. You'll notice that it has like the same tab names in the same order, same location, and so on. So class race epic, which is where I want to be, but instead of having the tabs here at the bottom, you just scroll through. So here's race, which is the first tab. Oh, sorry, there's class. Class is the first. So there, class, race and social, epic, reputation, and allegiances. So those follow the little tabs at the bottom, except allegiances were kind of tagged on at the end there. Okay, so race and social. I want to scroll down and I want to see Farmer's Fair things that I can earn. So I'm going to run down to Farmer's Fair, and there it is. So you can see for the Farmer's Fair, I have done almost everything that I can accomplish for this festival, except there is one thing right here. So this is not listed in Race and Social under the regular in-game because it's a deed I haven't started, because basically once you have it and you open the egg, you've completed the deed. So there is no starting it without completing it. So it doesn't show up. So you don't know it exists, but we're able to see that it does exist. And that is collect the golden egg. So it is a rare egg. It only drops who knows how often, but it's extremely rare to see. Somebody in our kinship got it last year, and I was actually I was there when she got it, and it was very exciting. So I do know that it exists, and I know it is possible to get. I have not yet gotten it with any of my characters. So I'll show you how this egg race works, though. So you go over here and you talk over to Mr. Grubb, and the egg scramble happens out here. And you want to read his stuff if you haven't read it before. But basically the egg scramble is happening in this area out here at Sanson's farm. So I could just as easily, like, if I was, oops, sorry, wrong one. If I was over here in like Mickle Delving, I could just ride over to Sanson's farm where we are. Like, you don't have to take that horse. Like, we're in the middle of the landscape. So, you know, every so often you'll have people coming through who are doing some of the quests at the farm, right? It's kind of funny. But we're just here in the middle of everything, waiting for our event to start. The way this works, once the event starts, these chickens, the hens, are going to run around and they're going to drop eggs out here on the field. They might drop a white egg. They might drop one of the solid ones, one of the striped ones, one of the spotted ones. They might drop a bad egg. Bad egg doesn't do anything for you, except it makes your screen look funny. I do have post-processing effects turned off, so it won't do that on my screen so much, because I want you to be able to see what we're doing during the game, during the stream here. I want you to be able to see. So I figure that's important. That's more important than me having these funny little effects happening. Okay, so we're waiting for the egg scramble to start. And other people might also be playing. Like, that person didn't pick up the quest, but if they had, you know, they could also be here during the egg scramble picking up eggs, and you know, so you're competing, you're running over there, trying to get there before the other person does, that sort of thing. Oh, see, yeah, they're picking up the eggs and running off. So they're doing quests at Sanson's Farms, which I think is fantastic. It is a limited time. I haven't been timing it, but I really need to. Okay, so it says Sanson's egg scramble has begun. All right, so here is a white egg right in front of me, so I have picked it up. Now the goal is to pick up 5 white eggs. If I pick up 5 white eggs before the time runs out, then I have won the event. And I talked to Mr. Grubb over there, and he'll give me, you know, whatever. So this is a rotten egg. Notice how it's kind of steaming. That is a rotten egg. Over here, this is a red egg. Actually, I'm going to tab around just to make sure that we're not missing a golden egg. Okay. So I'm using like Shift Delete, because I have Delete set to be my target thing. Okay, I don't want the bad egg. But it looks like there's 2 eggs here. One of them might be good. Oh, it says, congratulations, you've won the egg scramble. Sometimes it gives you a notification of 10 seconds or left. In this case, there was no notification of any time left. And it seems very random how long the event is. And it also seems random, you know, whether or not you even get 5 eggs, good eggs, white eggs, put out during the time, the eggs that count for the quest. So that's really weird, and I don't know what the logic is behind it. Anyway, that counts as a Farmer's Fair event, so I've turned that in. The egg scramble that we just did used to also be once an hour, which meant you had the ability to get plenty of eggs. You know, you had the opportunity to get a bunch of the colored eggs of various kinds. You would be able to finish those deeds in a year if you really were like come back pretty often. So I did. Like, I was able to finish it with my character last year. Plus, you can go on the auction house and you find people selling them, you find people buying them, you know, that sort of thing. So that's kind of nice too, to be able to finish that off. But now it is also once a day. Oops, mushroom hunts began. I gotta get going. So that was disappointing, because that golden egg, like, I was grinding for it. I was after it pretty hard last year, and obviously I didn't get it. So my odds of getting that golden egg are so low at this point with once a day. So that's a kind of a bummer, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll do something to improve those odds or change it up in some fashion. I don't know. I do not know. Okay, but we're doing the mushroom hunt right now, and I can explain what's going on here in just a second. So the little eyes on the field, and you can see it up on my radar up at the tippy top there, are Farmer Maggot's dogs. And they are patrolling this field where the mushrooms keep popping up. And they are trying to prevent me from getting those mushrooms. So you got to make sure you're not spotted by any of the dogs. Now, you'll notice that they went from being eyes to rings. That's because I succeeded in what I came here to do, which is to get 8 mushrooms without being seen. But now I can keep going. I wish the egg hunt was more like this. Like, this definitely seems to have a time. Like, it goes quite a while. And I wish the egg hunt was more like this. And not just over so fast. Woo! So I can keep collecting mushrooms. Even though I've got my 8, I can keep going until either I get seen or the time finally runs out. And again, I haven't timed it, so I don't actually know how much time I have in general. But okay, so there's different kinds of mushrooms out here. That is a green spotted mushroom. It made me small. See, look how small I am. Whee! I'm teeny tiny. That is a white mushroom. So that one does normal. I must have eaten a, what is it called? A black, oops, I was spotted. Oh, and the things are gone. The scarecrows, if you eat like a spotted black mushroom or something like that, it turns the scarecrows, and there's 3 scarecrows, into baddies from other things. So you've got like a Nazgul, and you've got, I forget the other 2. Anyways, it's kind of cool. But look, I'm teeny. I wish they would give us a consumable that did that turned us teeny, because I love it. And you know what's also really cool? Is my mount is also teeny tiny. Look at that. And it's a teeny tiny mount. So you can see, compared to this Hobbit, how small I am. Oh, now I'm regular. It wears off, but it's so fun. I love that. I love that little effect. It's so fun. Cracks me up. Okay, so we have done 10 festival activities today already. So I can talk to Campanula Chubb here, and I can turn in a sunny fair day. And that finishes that wrapper. Now I am also working on another wrapper that basically is every time I do a sunny fair day 5 times, and you can only do it once a day. So, you know, it's 5 days in 5 days, then basically. I will turn in, I will complete fun at the fair, and she'll give me a bunch of goodies for that. And also for completing fun at the fair, I get a bunch of goodies also. So I like that. We like stuff. Stuff is good. So that's another reason why you might want to keep on it on a regular basis, stuff like that. So you'll notice though that I just talked to Campanula down here at the at Bywater and not up at the party tree. So she's at both places. She's just really fast. Caltha Tunnelly also is here, and so is Dill Goodchild. And these 2 both have festival rewards that you can get from them. Now, remember when I was saying that before, there was the summer festival, and then there was the farmer's fair, and they were not at the same time, and now they're combined. So that's why we've got these 2, because I think Dill, maybe I'm mixing that up. One of them has basically the old summer festival rewards, and the other one has the farmer's fair rewards, basically. And the nice thing is you can use the drop down. I like the egg, Arthur. Campanula has an identical twin sister, and they're pranking you. I like it. You go to turn into her until you did 10 things. She's like, you did what? Yes, 10 things, just like I asked you to. Of course, I remember this conversation. Completely remember this. Absolutely know what you're talking about. Yes, that was totally me. I like it. It's kind of like maybe a callback to the, was it twins or triplets in that one town over in like Rohan that are pranking you? That's good stuff. Let's see. So he has summer festival steeds. He has cosmetic rewards, classic rewards. I really want to think that Dill has the summer stuff and Caltha has the Farmer's Fair stuff, because the new things, there weren't a lot of new things for the Farmer's Fair, which I'm okay with that actually. They don't need to add 20 new things every time, because like I don't have that much inventory space. And my wardrobe is full. Like I don't have room for any more good wardrobe stuff. So they gotta come up with crappy wardrobe stuff for a while so that I don't want it, and then I'm fine with that. that's how we're going to manage this. Because, okay, yeah, so the new rewards for the Farmer's Fair this year are the woven reed rowboat, which is a furniture item or yard item. So I did pick up one of those, and an oar, which is also a furniture / yard item. You can also, there's an oar in your hand. That's a cosmetic, so that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, one of our normal Saturday gathering people, she's a high elf, or he's a high elf. The character's a high elf, and the character, male high elf, has an oar in each hand, and so they're like whapping things whenever they're in melee combat. They're hitting things with the oars, but when they run, the oars are crossed, and so they're like whoop, whoop, whoop. These crossed oars in front of them. It's really quite funny. There's also the Innkeeper's dress, which looks like this. So it's cute. It's very simple, nice simple look. And let's see, it does dye, oh, it dyes the skirt. Okay, I couldn't remember which part of it dyes. So, I mean, you could dye it rust and have it all in that kind of, the browns. Sienna brings it a little bit darker. So you could definitely go like super browns with this, but you could also like do some contrast with the gray, but the yellow looks, I'm really not a fan of the yellow in this game. The yellow just always has this weird glow to it for me. That's interesting. The Heraldry blue is usually a bright, bright blue. It looks really interesting. Oh, that's nice. That's crimson. That's crimson with that brown. And it does have like, let me zoom in a little bit. See, it does have some texture to it, which is nice. I like it when they have a little bit of a texture in the outfits, in the fabric and stuff. So there's the walnut brown, which doesn't look brown at all. It looks kind of a gray. That's interesting. There's a blue. That steel blue is nice. So it looks like, yeah, you can do some, you've got some nice color options with this if you decide to get it. So that's the Innkeeper's dress. There's also the robe of leisure. That's also new to the festival. And it's also got, this has got a little bit more. It's got like a little pocket looking thing there. It's got stuff hanging off the belt. My understanding is that these two cosmetics are also available in like the LOTRO store. And so people were complaining in some places. They're like, hey, how come we didn't get any new cosmetics? You can already get these. But I actually think it's a good thing because I don't necessarily want to go and spend LOTRO points on a cosmetic. I would much rather go and do festival stuff, earn festival tokens, buy it that way, because you can't earn mithril coins per se. I mean, you can earn LOTRO points, which you can then use to buy mithril coins, which you can then use to buy things, So there is a way around that. But I would much rather just be straightforward, go do festival stuff, earn festival things, buy festival stuff. Like, I'd rather do it that way. So, let's see. The Tome of the Feed-Laden Donkey, that might be new this year, but it's only available for mithril coins, and there isn't a festival coin version, so I'm not too worried about getting that right now. And then I think the rest of these are from previous years because I recognize a lot of them. The gardening gloves are so cute. Oh, I don't have gloves on. I've got my gloves hidden on my character, but they're really cute. They've got like a little flower in the middle, and they do dye up really nice. Oh, and the circlet of fresh picked flowers is great, and you can dye it. So let me show you. Let me zoom into my head. So you see how the flowers are kind of like yellow and purple and lavender in there? And then let me switch it to like a dark green. Check it out. So instead of the purple and lavender, we now have like a green and a lighter green. Such a nice, like just a subtle thing, and that's black. The black doesn't maybe pop so much. So like check that out with the blue. It's got an Evandin blue there. So yeah, I am just like, whoever came up with this, like kudos to them, because I love how it has some pieces that it keeps, like the white flowers with the yellow centers, and then the yellow flowers also, but you can customize it to fit in with your outfits a little bit better. I just think that's like stellar. I love that. That's like one of my favorite things to do. So I have a character over on Laurelyn, and she wears flowers in her hairs a lot, and so I often match the flowers to her outfit because I can. Like, so good. Let's see, fancy wide-brimmed hat. Not so much. Anyway, but there are a lot of really good cosmetics in this festival. In fact, I think I'm wearing, what am I wearing? Hello. I am wearing the peacock dress, which I think I got from this festival. I have the straw sun hat with ribbon, and you can dye. So I dyed the ribbon that is around it and the edging, both dyed together, which is great. And of course, I'm carrying a pretzel and a basket of freshly baked apples. And I did dye the peacock dress. That's not its original color either. So I really love how you can like adjust things in the game. It makes me really happy about the that you can dye the cosmetics and stuff. Yeah, so here's the new stuff. Innkeeper's dress, robe of leisure, the boat stuff. Yeah. So, man, cosmetics part 1, part 2, part 3. And then there's the housing rewards. This one has... Which one is this? Oh, it has a decorative oven. It's not a crafting facility. Okay, that's not a crafting facility. Oh, this one has the chicken coop, which is super cute. Definitely worth picking up. I have, actually, I think a couple of those. The mushroom ring is also really nice, a really nice yard item. And the produce stall, I have one of those in a Belfalas house, which in the back, in the bigger Belfalas housing, you can decorate it as if it's an outdoor space. You can use yard items. And the produce stall is a yard item. And so I have that in the back, and I've just done it all Hobbity in the very back. And it fits really, really well in that space. It looks really good in that space. So just a couple of cool housing things for you to talk about. Oh, speaking of housing, there is a website, if you are not familiar with it. It's Deco de Mieux, and they are a website. Their website is just all LOTRO housing items. So if you're looking for any housing items in the game and you want to know, well, what does this look like? I'm curious. Like, is it big? Is it small? Like, how does this fit? What kind of colors is it? Like, whatever. You can go to their website and they'll have images. They go and they take screenshots of every single housing item, and it's a whole just catalog of it. It's fantastic. Did you see Egg Arthur's comment that Campanula has an identical twin and they're just pranking me? I love it. So it would be a triple set of twins. So it would be Campanula, Caltha, and Dill just have been running around since they were kids, pranking everybody, making them all think that there's just one of them when there's actually two of them. I think that's a hilarious idea. I love it. Okay, so I want to get some more festivity tokens. We talked about that earlier because there's 2 more cosmetic pets that I want to get from, I just forgot her name, but Verbena, from Verbena Greenhand. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to run a solo version of the Perfect Picnic instance. And I'm going to do it at like level 10, at the lowest level we can, because I'm not interested in the rewards or, because in these instances, there is a list of encounters that you can find. So let's see, race and social completed, probably Perfect Picnic. Oh, I should just go ahead and continue this quest here. I have to pick up 6 things, and so I might as well get started on that while we're looking this up. So is it under the Perfect Picnic? I should just open the other one. More the merrier, the shrewd, nope. Oh, maybe it's under instances. Maybe that's why. And, skirmishes. Oh my gosh. And let's see, those are instances. These are lieutenants. So let's look under skirmish instances. And, oh, there we go. Perfect Picnic. Oh. And 8 of 8. So I have found each one of these encounters and done it on level, because you have to do it like within 8 of your level or whatever. So we've done that. You have to find each one of them once, and once you've done that, you get 12 Farmer's Fair tokens, which is pretty awesome, and a title Preserver of Picnics. So that's cute. But I've already done that, so I'm not worried about it. We're just going to keep on trucking. So the eye behind me is Penny, and we can talk to the chatty hobbits if we want to, send them off. But Penny doesn't get stopped by the chatty hobbits unless you're doing it on raid level, I believe. There's an encounter down there, but like I said, I've already done the encounters, so I'm not too fussed about that. And we are down here in like the Woodhall area. That's where this instance takes place. But we're not in landscape, we're in an instance itself. So we're not going to run across anybody else while we're out here. See, there's another chatty hobbit. And boy, this heat is troublesome, it says. So we're just going to zoom by and take care of some heat. All right, all the heat has been dealt with. Where's Penny? Oh, maybe she did get stopped by the hobbit. All right, so she's going to run over here to the water. And this is that area where those brigands are in the Shire, that you have to go up, and then like one of the hobbits has been caught and you got to go and help rescue her up there. That's what's up there. And there's an an encounter in this instance up there. But again, I'm not going to worry about the encounters because it would give me like 1 mark, I think, for doing it. Not too worried about it. So the carrots, we have carrots on the side of the road on both sides. So we want to run around and catch those because we need to feed Penny 8 carrots. Now, I'm also kind of ignoring Penny at the moment, and eventually I will need to go and catch up with her because there are some instances of heat along the way that we'll need to go and rescue her from. The cool thing is Penny has a gazillion morale points. I may be over exaggerating a little, but she has a lot. So for example, I have, 13,000? You can tell I'm getting close to the heat stuff that we got to take out. And she has 52,000. I have 13,000, she has 52,000. So, and she appears to be completely undamaged at this time. If she was damaged by that stuff, she recovered very quickly. So, so I don't worry about Penny too much while I'm picking carrots if I'm doing this on solo. I mean, yeah, you want to catch up to her, make sure she's not like perishing or anything. But you've got time. And then there's a second round of baddies, and she should be encountering them over there. Yeah, so she's sitting at, she's getting currently burning flames, 24 fire damage every 2 seconds. And she has she lost any health? Right? Like, she regens so fast. Yeah, she's, let's see, 485 out of 52,650. So she's lost like 185. Golly, whatever shall she do? No, I don't want to shoot the squirrel, thanks. But I will take out these guys. Not the squirrel! Oh, sorry, squirrel. Okay, so she's gonna go get in the water. I've got her carrots. So zoomity zoom zoom. Okay. I forgot to ask, is there rice in the fridge?
Maybe not.
If not, do you have time to put some on before you stream?
I'll let you know.
Thank you. Before I stream back to back on Tuesdays. So sometimes there's a tight time between us. Okay, so she's made it to the water, and I gave her the carrots apparently. Another encounter is down that direction. We're going to skip it. We're going to get rid of the clover patches. And the clover patches, when you do this on raid level and maybe 6-player, something will pop out of there and attack you. Like a heat will attack you. Egg Arthur, I just still am laughing about that idea. I have known some twins and triplets, like in school and whatnot. And they weren't able to get away with that sort of stuff very often, but I just love the idea of it. Okay. I think I was getting a notification about the NS strike on the north part of the Netherlands tomorrow. We're kind of more central east Netherlands, so we will be unaffected by the strike tomorrow, and doubly unaffected because I'm not taking the train tomorrow. But
Define NS.
Oh, NS is the train company, the national train system. They're understaffed these days, and they're working hard, and they're asking for higher wages and stuff like that. And they are not the people who are working and are under certain unions, and they have not been getting what they've asked for. So they're doing staggered strikes around the country over the next couple weeks, over this week and next week. And then if they're still not getting the wages that they're asking for, then they're going to escalate to, I think, a nationwide all at once strike, which will impact people a lot more than just the pocketed ones. So it'll be interesting. Okay, so here comes Penny. And hey, presto, the mayor found his hat. We have the picnic blanket ready for the food. So Penny has a ring over, so you've got time to prepare. This is where the bugs are going to show up, and hobbits are going to show up. So you've got to click on the hobbit and then click the slap button to get them to go away. And then you also have to attack the bugs, and so it goes very fast. So here I go. So there's a hobbit. We'll get rid of them. Oh, here comes hobbits. They're running. Uh-oh. Running hobbits is a problem. Okay, hopefully I got them. Okay. Got that one. Awesome. There's another one. Whew. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so we should have bugs coming. Yep, here they come. Let's see if I can hit them all before they attack my food. And then if we get all the bugs, here comes the rain. Come here, rain. Come here, rain. Over here. Don't touch my food. That's not it. Okay. Woohoo! Wow, I think they didn't get any of our food this time. There's a deed for that, but you have to do it at like minimum level 115, and yeah. And you have to do it at server cap. So once the server cap gets to 115, we can try it. Yeah, and we'll do it at 115. So keep in mind, when you finish this, notice how there's a whole lot of glowing things here. The picnic basket in the middle is where you're going to get your festivity tokens, and that's the whole reason I'm here. So I want to make sure I click on that, and that'll pop those out. Boom, yay. And you get 5 festivity tokens for doing the instance. And then you'll notice there's still a whole bunch of food is glowing. So here I'm going to sit and eat. Boom, boom. And now the food is no longer glowing. That's how you get your festival tokens, because the instance gives you both festivity tokens and festival tokens. Now, the festival tokens, though, is a once a day. The perfect picnic daily is the name of the quest. And so eating some of the food is what completes that quest for you. So that's how I got Farmer's Fair tokens for completing that, for doing that. Okay. He's like, well, that was delicious and well worth the adventure. Maybe we'll go on another picnic adventure soon. And it's really cool because notice I'm still sitting and eating. I love it. Because I was sitting and eating in the instance and I didn't stand up. So I'm still sitting and eating. Love it. Okay, so let's see. I was thinking I might go ahead and do another run through the Perfect Picnic at like small fellowship. Do you want to join me for a small fellowship perfect picnic? No. Okay. And okay, so let me see. Let me check the wiki real quick. And see what is perfect picnic. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Okay, so the instance group sizes, and I can show you in my social tab. Under raid locks, you'll see it says picnic basket, but it doesn't tell me like which size of picnic basket I just did. So you just kind of have to know. So, but we know, I just did the solo one. Okay, so instance finder, perfect picnic, and I'm going to switch it to size 2 because according to the wiki, the instance group sizes for the chests and locks are solo, duo 3-person, 6-person, and 12-person. Okay, so I can run this at 2-person at level 10. Not according to the wiki. And let's see if I can zoom through. See, I'm still eating, but I'm going to have to stand up in order to go and talk to these guys. So you have these two to talk to. Mayor, who is going to join you, and Farmer Fosco Fairfield, who is going to loan you a penny. So you have to talk to both of them. And then we have 5 things that we need to pick up. A large food sack, a gourd, all sorts of goodies. What else did we pick up? Oh, it just says picnic supplies. And once we have them all, they're loaded up on Penny. We say go. She zooms off. Now we need her to get to the top of the hill. And she won't go to the top of the hill if there's stuff in her way like these flames. So we do have to stop and deal with those every time. And also she won't go to the top of the hill if there's, you got to do the checkpoints. You have to actually check in at the checkpoints. So I can't just like run to the top of the hill. Like I gotta actually interact and do things along the way. That's okay. We'll get there. I really do like the perfect picnic on the wiki. They did a really good job because somebody made a map and showed where the mob groups are and where the start is and where the finish is. And it's very clear. It's very easy to read. And I really appreciate whoever did that. It looks good. Okay. Oh, that heat is troublesome, it says. Hey, Penny, where are you? Where'd you go? She stopped back there. I don't know why she stopped back there. All right, let's defeat some heat. One more. There we go. All right, so Penny is going to run into the water. Let's close that down. There we go. We're going to skip the encounters again. But we do need to click on the banner. And now Penny runs off again. So we got to collect some carrots for her. I do love that parasol. It came up in our run the other day, and somebody was asking if that is a cosmetic in the game, and it's not. And boy, wouldn't that be a fun cosmetic? Although I guess you kind of run into people a lot with it, but if you could just carry it closed, would that be as good? I don't think that would be as good. I think you really need to have it open because it's just a pretty cool thing. Maybe if it was, well, I was gonna say if it was a housing item, but that's still not quite it either, is it? Oops, sorry about that little fox. We'll just say the dragon got him. All right, I need some more carrots for the penny. Carrot, there we go. Because we need 8. It's so funny because I get used to doing this with a group, and so everybody's picking carrots. So the picking up carrots happens really fast. Because everybody picks up a couple and then you're done. So you get to see me running all over the countryside looking for carrots. These mirages keep getting bigger. Indeed. All right, let's just do this real fast and simple. Zoom. I do love Rain of Arrows. It is nice. Oh, thanks. Before has posted the map with the link to the map in the wiki. So you can look at it there if you are still checking it out. Oh, I guess I didn't get the dragon. Oi. He got me again, little stinker. Okay, there's the dragon gone. So now Penny's going to come over to the water. Hey, Penny. There she comes. Interesting. I guess she was kind of phased out during the heat stopping her there. Oh, before, plug-in comment. I was doing Farmer's Fair earlier, and I had the plug-in active for the Festival Buddy. And I was in the middle of doing one of the quests where you are picking up the groceries. And I picked up the quest for the Fat Mare. And it did not show me, it did not flash up on the screen what the Fat Mare was asking for.
Had you already set it?
Had I already?
Had the mayor already set it?
Yes, and future ones also did not come up. So I wasn't sure if there was something about having the other quest active that got in the way, or what happened there.
No, it really should just be the quest is active here, but we'll be playing around with that.
Cool. So before is streaming, after me, as I may have mentioned, and he is a plugin developer, and so he does plugin development on screen, and asks questions, and we can ask questions, and he can dig into things. So if you have any questions about LOTRO plugins, the next stream is a great place for that, or you can put them here, and he can read them for the next one. Sorry, I got cat hair at my nose. Can't imagine how that happened. I was brushing her earlier. Yeah. Well, I was brushing the cat earlier at my desk, and so there's lots of cat hair right here where she was. So there's that. Anyway, yes, so before we'll be looking at plugins and doing some more plugin development on Festival Buddy too, I think, during the stream. So as soon as I am done streaming, which I could be any time after I finish this instance. Okay, so we have found the perfect picnic spot in all the Shire, but we've lost Penny. Was she eating? Oh, there she comes. If there's any clover on the ground, she will stop and eat it, and it will delay her. So there's that. There's that to keep in mind. Okay, so once she's here, well, I think we can go ahead and start laying traps because she's almost here. The picnic blanket will appear. There it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can slap the hobbits and stop everybody at the same time. Hobbit. Oh, no, you're too fast for me. Stop, go away, stop eating food. Even on, see, this is on, yeah, I've lost some food, I know. Whew. Okay. Okay, now we have the weather coming. Now the good thing is that we can often tag the weather and keep it away from the picnic blanket. Come here. I need you to get away from there. Get away from that. Okay, we didn't lose all the food. If you lose all the food, you do actually fail the quest, the whole instance, and I don't want to, we didn't want that. But you can see the difference on how much food I lost, and that's just doing it between one person and a two-person. So notice on this time the hobbits and the bugs came at the same time, so it's a lot more difficult to do that, as it scales up pretty hard there. Okay, so there we go. Gonna sit and eat. Nom nom. Oh, I did get some coins for quest completion. Well, that's nice. And there we go. Hey, buddy. Let me out. That was a fantastic feast. The festivity tokens are hard to get solo in the 12-person raid. Yes, they are. You saw how much trouble I was having just with a 2-person. If I did it in the 6-person, it's a little iffy. 12-person is nearly impossible for me. Now, some people are a lot faster with the keyboard shortcuts, and because you can like, Shift F10 to get to the next NPC, and then press, whatever your shortcut is for where you have placed the slap on your bar. So you could like Shift F10 slap, Shift F10 slap, Shift F10 slap. Like you could work your way through that really fast. I don't have that set up for, on mine, but I could, and that probably would make me more effective at that. So I'm a hunter, and a cool thing in the Shire is that they have a campsite, a hunter campsite, which I can use for travel, set up here at the top of the hill at the party tree. Yay! So that's really convenient. And I'm still eating. That's fantastic. Just having a little snack here. Don't mind me. Check that out. That's great. Let's see. Oh, I can't. Oh. That's kind of a nice shot, though, isn't it? Well, now I'm not eating. Oh, there we go. Eat that apple. Om nom nom. All right, so I was going to go over and talk to Verbena Greenhand, who is our festivity token broker, and pick out one of those goodies from her. Although, that means I need to open my spreadsheet so I can track which one of these goodies I picked up. Because that's what I do, is I keep track of, I have a spreadsheet with all my characters, and I keep track of, like, what they all have. So, do I want the peahen or the heart? I think we'll go with the heart. Okay, so I will barter for that. Boom. And, oh, I have eggs. It is not bound. So theoretically, I could have another character run through, get festivity tokens, and get the other tome that I want and pass that over. So that's also another option. Now, a couple quick things on festivity tokens, though, is that they are, they roll over. So whatever ones I have left over at the end of this festival, I can keep for, the other festivals that have festivity tokens, no big deal. But you do have a cap of 40. And so I don't know if you noticed, but I had 30, and now I have 10. I'm going to show you in the wallet here. Festivity tokens. So I clicked on the little exclamation point up there to toggle my wallet, by the way, and the search button's right there at the top of it. So festivity tokens, you can see right here I have 10, and there's a cap of 40. So you'll want to kind of keep that in mind if you're like trying to grind through and get a bunch of them, that you can max out. So it is worth kind of keeping an eye, because it's a real bummer when you're like, you do a thing and your tokens were capped. Now you do get a currency capped alert that will come up when you do get to 40, and they always come in groups of 5. So, I mean, you hit 40 on the dot. But if you clear that and then you forget about it, then you'll be sad the next time. And I do say you only get 5 because some of us have the Gundabad Fateful Toolkit, which we got in the Ultimate edition of the Gundabad expansion pack. And this set of tools, it does all the regular tool stuff. So you've got your, critical chances, and it can do every single thing. Like I can, chop wood or harvest, things. It does all of them. So it's a universal toolkit, which is great. But it also gives me plus 10% wallet barter tokens, festival and landscape up through Gundabad level. So as I'm earning festival tokens, I am actually earning bonus on each one of those. So for example, I forgot to get the honey from the green dragon. So let's see. Yeah, so let's say if I finished this frozen sweet cream quest, it will give me 4 Farmer's Fair tokens, but I will actually get 5 because it gives me 10%, so 4.4, and it rounds up. So it'll round up to 5. So that's pretty awesome. If I was to get, 10, it rounds up. It's still, yeah, anyway, it's nice. You get bonus tokens, and bonus tokens are awesome. And crazy enough, it also works for like if you're doing any sort of token exchange. So for example, if I want to, if I'm like, wow, I have a ton of Farmers Fair tokens and I really would like to have more, you know, what's this one? Midsummer tokens. I could, you know, spend Farmers Fair tokens to buy one of these box of festival tokens. And when I open it, it says I can choose from one of these items, you know, so instead of like 3 Midsummer tokens, I would get 4 Midsummer tokens. It's crazy. So that's kind of fun. So the good news is I'm rarely running low on tokens these days. The only one I have trouble with is the anniversary tokens, but thankfully I can get those from a box as well. So that's useful. Okay, well, let me know if there's any questions here in the chat as I am going to wrap up soon. Let's see. We have, and in case you're haven't heard on LOTRO news lately, that there is so some of the SSG folks are in Germany right now at a game developer conference, and they had a panel yesterday, Monday, and they talked about, you know, what it's like to develop a game and working within an existing UI or IP and things like that. But they also did announce that there is a new mini expansion coming out called, what was it, Before the Shadow, I believe is what it's called. And we don't know much detail about it yet, but they have an image. Let me see if I can find that real quick. And there's a thing on the LOTRO website. Let me grab a link. No, oh, no, undo that. What? Yeah, sorry, I just moved something in our Discord by mistake. Okay, I put it back. I dragged it by mistake. Here we go. And I don't know if you already grabbed it. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep, so if you go to that, it doesn't have a lot of information there yet. It's kind of a coming soon sort of a thing, but it's called Before the Shadow. There's a teaser clip on YouTube, and it's going to focus on 2 new regions called Swanfleet and Cardolan. And Cardolan, you do run into some references about that in the game already. I don't recall the word Swanfleet running across that before, but Cardolan we've run across in the over in the Barrow Downs. There's been some references to that. So Cardolan, my understanding is, yeah, kind of somewhere. I think Cardolan and Swanfleet are in somewhere in this area, and there's more information out on the internet about this, so you can get more detail, at least, you know, to find out if kind of get some history of these things, because these are things within Tolkien lore. Like, this is not just like made up out of nowhere. Like, this is somewhere. And so the setting of the new expansion, mini expansion, focuses on the time when Boromir is making his way to Rivendell, and so he's not there. And I don't know if he's involved in some of the stuff you're going to run into. Like, are you going to be running around with Boromir? Are you going to encounter him? I'm not sure. The questing area, it says it will be levels 1 to 32. So that means for people who are used to doing a lot of their questing in like Ered Luin, the Shire, Breeland, North Downs, like, you know, Lone Lands, it'll offer you a different way that you can do some leveling if you want, further south, I believe. I think the Brandywine River might be one of the boundary lines of the kingdom that was a part of that Cardolan was a part of. So I think we're definitely talking about, like, you know, this area down here. Okay. Anyway, let's see. 4 new books for new characters.
Higher level characters will see a new 6-person instance, in addition to a new skirmish and a delving difficulty system that will offer new rewards and challenges. So I'm definitely curious what this is going to be like. And so they'll have more coming out. They'll have more information about the new content, special incentives for VIPs, and it says planned pre-purchase availability in late September. So late next month is when they're targeting to have the pre-purchase available. So definitely interested. And the delving difficulty system is something that the executive producer, Severlin, had mentioned in the Q&A that he did a few weeks ago. So I think, I'm not sure all the details on it, but I don't know if it's going to be similar to what we've got here on Treebeard, where we can pick a difficulty system or a difficulty level, and then it changes up some of our experience. Like the bad guys hit harder. For me, playing at deadly in any of the deadly levels, I'm playing at deadly +0. Sometimes I kind of catch the eye of Sauron, and so the things around me will have a huge hit that hits me at one point if I don't get out of the area. Hey, Guitar Chim, South Bree, you're thinking? Yep. Yeah, that's my understanding. There's a not a test server, but like a preview server where the SSG folks do some stuff in advance of it coming out, even to the test server of Bull Roarer, and that server is called Palantir. And there are people who are on Palantir, players and whatnot, but they have to sign like non-disclosure agreements and things like that because they get previewed to stuff that's way ahead of the stuff that we see in the game, right? And you know how things are in development. Like, things change over time. I don't know if you've ever read like somebody's book before they publish it, and then it goes through editing and all that, and then you read it again, you're like, wow, this is a really different book. Like, you know, that's what I expect from my game side, right? Anyway, the maps of these areas were on Palantir, and somebody broke their NDA and published those out to the internet. So they're out there. And so my understanding, and I actually went, though, instead, because I don't want to look at stuff that's not supposed to be out there. But I did go to like the LOTROfandom.com. Also, TolkienNet is also a really good place to look for things. And Cardalon was once part of the Dunedain Kingdom of Arnor. And there I found a Tolkien map, I think, that basically placed it, let's see, this is Swanfleet, north of Enedwaith, so that's maybe, yeah, here-ish, maybe. And then, yeah, look at me tilting my head. Oh, and then Cardalon, yeah, it's this side of the Brandywine, but this side of this river, that's in Elvish, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. So it looks like Cardalon is in here, and Swanfleet is maybe over here. So yeah, so we're still talking Eriador, which makes sense, because again, like we were talking about earlier, about how basically throughout the world, you know, geography ends up relating to levels of characters. So you've got, you know, level 1 through 50 here, you got like level 45 through 60 here, level 65 here, you know, how it just kind of flows through. So it makes sense that if they're doing level 1 through 25 or 35, whatever I said, that it would be in Eriador. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? So, yeah. So that's the biggest news that we've got. That's pretty big news. So my understanding too is that, like, I know, so when they say mini expansion pack, they're talking, I think, similar to like War of the Three Peaks, how it wasn't like a massive area, but it was like a new area with new stuff, some new quests, that kind of thing, some new goodies. That's kind of what I'm expecting. And I know with that one, people had some complaints about, like, because they were like, well, what's the value in this? Like, you're charging this, but what am I getting? And then also VIPs were like, hey, we used to get this stuff for free, but now you're charging for that. So, so is it a this that you charge for? Is it a that you don't charge us for? And it's kind of, because it's kind of in the middle. Now, I'm a VIP, and I don't pay a lot of attention to what's included because I've just kind of gotten used to it. And also, whenever there's a new expansion that comes out, I just go ahead and buy it because I want the goodies. So I haven't necessarily paid attention to what would be behind a paywall for me. So I'm not necessarily the best person to ask about, is that going to be free? What part's free? What's parts paid for? I don't know. But my understanding is that, yeah, they're going to try and address some of those questions that people had. So that's good. Because it's funny, because we talk about this sometimes too, about how like before is a software engineer, so he understands programming, right? He understands there's a lot of logic that goes on behind the scenes. And I've run events and conventions, and so I understand a lot of what goes on behind the scenes also, versus what your attending public sees, for example. And there's definitely times when we see people are upset about something or complaining about something, and we're like, I think you're kind of missing this whole other thing that really would explain why this logic happens over here. So, yeah, it's just kind of funny sometimes that I think there's kind of sometimes I was missing steps that, I don't know, maybe SSG could, explain some of their logic a little bit better to people who might not necessarily intuitively see that. That could maybe help them out again. I don't know. So anyway, okay, so I think I'm going to wrap up here. Real quick, let's talk about schedule. Let's see. So, oh, so if you are in Germany this week, on Thursday, there will be a meetup because the SSG has 5 people in Germany right now for that conference, and they're going to be there through the week for the conference. There's 2 conferences back to back, and they're going to be there for, I think, parts of both of them. And so they're having a SSG LOTRO meetup on Thursday night. So if you are in Germany, in Cologne, go look at the forums. There's a link to the hotel where the meetup is going to be happening, like at the hotel bar or something. So that's cool. And we are actually going to go because it's just next door because we're in the Netherlands. So that's not too hard for us to get there, hopefully. Okay, so let's see. Farmers Fair ends next Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the morning. So by the time we are streaming here, there will be no more Farmers Fair. Sad face. So make sure you get all of your Farmers Fairing done before the end of your day on Monday. Because when you wake up on Tuesday, it probably will no longer be there. Everybody will have taken their produce and gone home. So let's see, what's next after that? Tales of the Shipwrecked Mariner is not until September. Bilbo's birthday is in September. Buried Treasure event in September. Hobnanigans, October. Harvest Festival is October 12th. So we don't have another big festival until middle-ish of October. So we've got all of September to hang out, do other things. We'll probably do some in-game landscape questing. We'll probably do instances and skirmishes because we really enjoy doing those. Oh yeah, we might do some bingo on screen. I'm a little behind on my bingoing. Let's see, the Ballad of Bingo Boffin. I think we left him in Lothlorien. Yep. So Bingo wants to prove that he is not afraid of orcs. And he wants you to volunteer, the 2 of you, to fight the foes of Lorien. Yeah, great idea, Bingo. Let's do that. So yes, so maybe we'll pick up with Bingo on stream next week and catch him up since he's out of Moria, and let him follow along his storyline a little further for a little while and see how that goes. All right. Well, it sounds like there's no other questions in the chat, so I will say thank you, everybody, for coming along and joining us on this adventure today. Let's see, let me move a few things. There we go. Sorry. Let me do that. All right. And yeah, so stick around. B4 is on next, and he'll be, again, like I said, streaming and talking about plugins. Is it Tuesdays or is it just Tuesday? I always get that wrong.
There's one only one of them this week.
There's only one Tuesday? All right, there we go. So, and there's some links if you want to, check out our Twitch channels, but to be quite honest, we just stream here. You know what I really wanted to put out there is schedule. There we go. And that has a link to the calendar of everybody, and it has links to our social media. So if you ever want to know before the shadows, I like it. So if you ever want to be notified when we are going live, we always tweet on my Twitter, on my Life Beyond the Shire Twitter. And the link to that is in there. And also we post our videos. They are on here on Twitch permanently here in the SSG, in the LOTRO stream page. So that's you can always go back and rewatch here. But we also post our streams over onto YouTube, and so you can make comments over there if you have questions and things like that. So that persists, at least gives you a little bit more of a interactive spot when you can't, especially when you can't catch it live. So. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we are going to switch over. I think before we'll be getting started here in about 5 minutes or so, maybe even less. I'm not sure. So stick around for some awesome plug-in time, and I will see you all next week. And remember, as always, when you are out and about and taking care of each other, as I hope you are, do remember to stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.